Teenage Pregnancy by Mara Rodriguez. Teenage pregnancy has been a problem in the United States for many years. Although it has decreased in the past years and is no longer an epidemic, approximately 7% of girls ages 15 through 19 get pregnant. The U.S. teen pregnancy is the highest developed in the world by 3 times. Pregnancy among teens is higher among African Americans and Latinos. 7 in 10 male and female adolescents have had sex before the ages of 19. Also, on average, young people have had sex for the first time at about age 17, but they don't get married till their mid-20s. In addition, 7% of young women aged 18 to 24 who have had sex before age 20 report that their first time was non-voluntary. Those whose first partner was 3 or more years their senior were most likely to report this than other women in the same age group. Teens in the United States and Europe have similar levels of sexuality. However, European teens are more likely than U.S. teens to use contraceptives generally and to use the more effective method. Therefore, they have less pregnancy rates in their country. Causes and contributing factors to teenage pregnancy: unprotected sex, not having knowledge in sex, contraceptives, poverty, culture, religion. Also, if having a mom that was a teen mom herself, it is more common that the girl will be a teen mom. It's a cycle that goes through in the family. Who is more prevalent to teenage pregnancy? Latinos and African Americans are more prevalent to teenage pregnancy. Teenage girls in rural areas have babies nearly 1/3 higher than girls from suburbs or cities. They have a harder time having a health clinic that provides contraceptives, don't have as many counselors, parents may not have health insurance, so it's hard to have birth control. Also, abortion providers may be harder to find. This also has to do, like the other slides, about poverty and culture and religion. This is because people that are in poverty many times have bigger families. Also, in the Hispanic culture, it is very uncommon that they use birth control because they don't believe it because they are Catholic, and so Catholics do not believe in birth control. Also, many times the Catholics believe in abstinence till marriage, so it's really hard for parents to talk to their daughters about birth control and contraceptives because they feel like their daughters and children should not be having sex at all, which is not good because girls should know and be more aware and cautious about sex and contraceptions, especially if they're sexually active. Parents shouldn't just assume that girls, just because they're Catholic, are being abstinent. They should be more open to it, although abstinence is the best way to prevent teen pregnancy. Media has a lot to do with teen pregnancy. Nowadays, shows like 16 and Pregnant and Teen Mom have millions of viewers each week. These shows started show teen moms how difficult it is to have a child as a teenager, but sometimes the opposite effect has come about from these shows because these moms are very much publicized and in the limelight that some girls feel like it is okay to be a teen mom, and it isn't as hard as it seems. Also, according to the show, uh, girls that watch the show, uh, 90% of them think that that after watching the show, they think that teen pregnancy is really hard and that the show did help them. But by how the media shows pregnancy and shows these moms on covers of magazines looking really happy and how they make money, a lot of girls feel like the pregnancy as light as they isn't as hard as it is. The number one way to prevent teenage pregnancy is abstinence. Um, and that is the form of just not having sex at all and waiting till marriage to have sex. And that is the proper way that Christians and Catholics would like their girls to wait for that. But also there's sexual education classes, which is provided now younger and younger. Um, Many times sex education classes can start in elementary school from 7th grade to from 5th grade to 7th grade to high school. Also, it is proving that after school programs are good for girls just to keep them busy and out of trouble and not be in the time or place where sex is available. College preparation classes are helpful because girls, even from rural areas, need to know that they do have an opportunity for education, and they don't have to continue the cycle of their family and get out of the cycle of having kids so young. Tutoring is also a good thing, not only getting tutoring, but tutoring themselves, having teen girls know that they're smart and they can help others, or if they need help themselves, get help from teachers after school or during school, just so they feel like they have the encouragement. Sports is a great thing for teenagers. It is proven that sports for teenage girls are really helpful in keeping them out of trouble, and it also helps out with their grades. In addition, it shows that women athletes are very successful in the business world because they know how to manage time, uh, they know work ethic, and it's just great opportunity overall. Positive changes that have occurred in these years is teenage pregnancy dropped about 42% in 2008. Teenage pregnancy is no longer an epidemic in the United States. Teen birth rate last year went down 9%, and teens that are sexually active are using some type of form of birth control. Also, the majority of sexually experienced teens use some type of contraceptive the first time they have sex. Um, teens are waiting longer to have sex than they did in the recent years. In 2006 to 2008, some 11% of never married females aged 15 to 19 and 14% of never married males that age had sex before age 15, compared with 19 and 21% in 1995. So the numbers have dropped increasingly. The condom is the most common contraceptive method used at first intercourse. 68% of females and 80% of males use it the first time they have sex. Who should do something with this social problem? I believe that individuals have a big part in this social problem. Although it is a macro problem in the United States, it can also be a micro problem and start from the home. I feel like parents should be open to children about sex and contraceptives, and not just assume that just because they're young or because they're Christian or because they're women that they are not having sex. Parents need to be more aware of the situation. There is an example that in Mississippi they had the highest rate of teenage pregnancy, and this is where the government comes in, and the government made sure that all the districts in the high schools had a sex education class for all these students and provided contraceptions for them. So students that were having sex can be more aware of it, and the rate of teenage pregnancy did drop. So it's proven that knowledge about this and awareness can help teenage pregnancy in the United States. Although teenage pregnancy is big, I feel like girls should stick with morals of their Christian values if they are, and try to stay abstinent in that which is the best form of contraception for not having children. References.